They say pets can sense when danger and bad energy lurk. They can tell when you're sad or sick, and they can definitely detect spirit activity in your home. I know for a fact, because my dog Sparky definitely tried to warn me someone, or something, was lurking at the Airbnb I stayed in a few weekends ago. I had a business trip planned to check out a potential new investment property a few hours from home in Atlanta, Georgia. If the property was suitable for my needs and met my standards, I'd be signing the paperwork and get the keys the following day. If not, I'd just spend the night in the Airbnb anyway and enjoy a mini overnight vacation. The Airbnb I found was pet-friendly and in a seemingly nice neighborhood. I took off on a Friday morning, intending to get into town, check out the property, and then spend the rest of the day working after I got in and got Sparky settled with food and water. We pulled up to the property about 20 after 2 p.m., and Sparky was ready to run. The house had a nice fenced-in backyard, and he was used to the concrete jungle, so he was in doggy heaven. I watched him run and romp around for a few minutes, and then proceeded to bring in our bags. Everything seemed perfect. The app dinged to alert me that it knew I arrived based on my GPS, and it gave me the standard, "Please reach out if you have any questions and enjoy your stay." Then it said something I'd never seen an Airbnb alert say. It said, "Have an experience to share? Tag us on Instagram or Facebook for 10% off your stay." An experience? Weren't they missing a word? Like, have an excellent experience to share? I'm too picky about grammar. It drove me crazy. Putting my phone down, I put Sparky's doggy dishes down and filled them both. But as I was filling his food dish, I heard a noise coming from the pantry. It was one of those traditional half-glass doors with the word pantry etched into the glass. I swore I saw movement in there too. I hesitated for a second, thinking, great, is there a mouse in my Airbnb? This is supposed to be a nice, easy, quiet business trip. Afraid I was going to let something loose in the house, I peered through the glass to check it out. There appeared to be a few things knocked to the ground, but I didn't see any sign of movement. I even tapped on the door to see if I could scare anything into moving. No time like the present. Just open the door and deal with it, I thought. But as I opened the door, I didn't see or hear anything scurrying across the floor. Well, let's pick up these storage bins that apparently flew off the shelves on their own, I mumbled under my breath. After that excitement, I settled in at the dining room table to watch over Sparky while I worked. But I noticed him standing still in one place, seemingly in a daze. I opened the patio doors, which would normally send him running to me, but he didn't budge. He was staring towards me, but not at me, staring at the house intently and whimpering. "What is it, Sparks? Are you nervous about the new digs?" I said. His ears perked up, but he still didn't respond to my voice. I tried calling him over to me, but nothing. He was intently staring past me. Then, he suddenly came flying towards the door, yelping. He stopped to the left of me and was growling at the air next to me, turning to look at me periodically. "Okay, buddy, you're starting to freak me out. Do you want a treat? A treat should snap you out of it." "Yeah? Treat?" I asked, shaking the bag. Thankfully, treats brought him out of whatever state he was in, as I expected they would. We settled in at the writing desk in the living room, me in the chair and Sparky at my feet on his dog bed. I was answering an email from the appraiser I had sent to the property when there was a knock at the door. I opened it, but there was no one there, and nothing out of the ordinary. Then, the knock happened again. I realized it wasn't coming from the front door. It was coming from the coat closet. Sparky was standing in front of the closet, not making a sound, staring intently. Opening the door, I let out a gasp when the creepiest baby doll I'd ever seen toppled out at my feet. Sparky ran off, growling. "Some protector you are, just leave me with the assailant," I said. The doll was so creepy, I shoved her back in the closet and slammed the door shut. Later that night, I settled into bed, Sparky at my feet as usual. I always scrolled social media for a while before falling asleep. I know, it's the worst thing you can do right before bed, but it's the only time I usually have to check up on everyone. I don't know how long I was asleep when I was woken by something touching my arm. I let out the loudest scream when I looked down and saw that creepy doll from the hall closet. If it sounds too made up, I wish I could say it was. I still can't sleep at night, and it's been 3 weeks. There's no explanation for it besides the paranormal. My dog cannot open doors of any kind, and I never felt him leave the foot of my bed. I would have woken up at some point had he made it off the bed and somehow opened the closet, retrieved the doll, and placed it by my arm. I was so scared, I packed up and went to a hotel that night. I felt compelled to look further into the Airbnb and checked out the Instagram they told me to tag if I had an experience. And as I scrolled, I felt sick to my stomach. There were numerous posts of people inside the house holding the doll or pointing to the pantry, reviewing the house, saying how haunted it was. Nowhere on the booking app does it say it's a haunted location, so I had no idea I was booking a popular paranormal attraction. I thought I was just booking a peaceful, cute little house on a quiet street. Reading the backstory of the house, I learned there was a tragic accident that happened back 20 years ago. A little girl was playing in the front yard, and her dad turned away to help her brother get his shoelace unstuck from the bike spokes. It only took a few seconds, and she had wandered out into the street and gotten hit by a car. Since then, people experience things like her favorite doll moving, the sound of car tires screeching outside, things moving around in the house, lights shutting off, and more. Wow, thanks for sharing your story. I don't blame you. I wouldn't be able to sleep either after waking to a doll in bed with me. I don't think I'm going to sleep tonight just hearing about it. I hope you can push past it and start sleeping again soon. And if you have a paranormal story to share, email it to the address in the description below. Please like the video and subscribe if you haven't. It really helps the channel. See you tomorrow, friends.